trying to show them a little bit more that this business is worth fighting for, right? This campaign is really, it can help their family. It can really, it can really free them up from bondage or from their work or whatever like that. It's really selling the dream in a way, but I'm showing also at the same time, and I'm not putting myself up there that I'm like, it's not about the title, whatever, that I'm an EBC. You cannot reach out to me, or you have to book an appointment with me or stuff like that. That my door is always open if you're sick for mentorship. I'm always hungry to mentor people. Actually, I tell my group that, I tell my team that all the time. But I find that most of these people, they don't ask the right question. You know, and they don't even ask the question, and that is a problem. Silence is not a good virtue, right? I know I'm a quiet person myself, but if you ask me to talk, I will talk, right? I'm not afraid to talk, right? So, and I'm always observant, with the people around me, and if I address, the concern of that individual, I will talk to that individual. I will not address it as a whole, because sometimes my message, if I talk to them in general and stuff like that, it may not be relevant to the whole entire group. Maybe it's just for this individual. And sometimes your message can hurt the whole entire. Maybe it hurt the momentum of the whole group. So, what I do often to really build again consistent into my recruiting and my production month after month. If my MD, I gather that MD in their group together, okay, and really address whatever I need to address. If they're very strong with recruiting but they're lacking production, I will teach more about the closing, okay, and because I can see that, on a day-to-day, on a weekly basis. And if this group is good about selling or closing, but their lack of recruiting, then my language would be different, right? So that way I'm not wasting everybody's time, talking. And I do a lot of this, and this is really a hard work, because it consumes a lot of your time on a day-to-day basis. But I'm being mindful at the same time. I'm also producing my personal. This month so far, I'm already at 4 personal recruit, right? Almost 100,000 points. And how am I able to do that? I have to lead by example. I cannot demand. I cannot talk to my people if I don't do it myself, right? So I gotta fight. I gotta show to everybody that, hey, I'm a first do it leader, right? I'm not just a talker. I walk the talk, right? So and
So let's back up a little bit.
yes.
You said you talked to everybody. So let's say, even right now, out of 55 recruit, how many you help them close out of 55? Maybe that you personally involve, 10 or 20?
Out of that 55 recruits, probably just 20%. Yes.
So let's just say 10 to 15.
Sure, 10 to 15. And most of them are very interdependent that way. And they can present, they can close, they can create a plan. So what I just monitor maybe on a daily basis, Miss Alicia, is that what is the quality of the closing? Is it just more on the insurance, or is it just like investments? What are they doing, right? What are they closing on a day-to-day basis? So I monitor that. So I sit down with them, I communicate with them on a daily basis, all right? Or sometimes it doesn't have to be every day, but every other day when I see them, I always have a discussion with them, right? So they know that I'm under they know that I'm under case every other day. I see them, and when I see them, they know that I will question them. They know that I will interrogate them in a way that to help them, hone them, mentor them, so that way they always have that guidance and mentorship that they need. Yeah. So about 20%.
You were talking about MD. You're talking about MDs though. That's who
Yes.
you're coaching in the morning.
Even associates. Yeah, even their associates, like if they're MD and there's associates under them, right? I build a relationship already. I'm building the relationship. I'm top rooting under the MD right away, because I knew that if this MD were start to grow into soon to be a senior marketing director, I have to build a good relationship with a potential exchange. So if I'm not building a good relationship with that potential exchange, and once she or he becomes an SMD, then I have zero relationship with that exchange. Then how can I maintain a big base shop numbers like that, right? So a lot of dinners, a lot of lunch, a lot of breakfast, inviting them in my house. My house is always open. My guys knows that, right? My house is open all the time when it comes to that. So I mentor them whatever ways I can, Alicia. So a lot of communication, a lot of training on a day-to-day basis.
But let's say you said that you tried to talk to everybody. So if let's say this month out of 55 you only did yourself personally involved is like 15. So I know, I mean, what is your system? Let's say there's a Swan Wind that joined under one of the MD. How you build relationship with them when you are not the one to recruit them? You don't even know them. Does it make sense what I'm trying to ask you?
Yes. So that's why
Yeah.
I told him that, like next week, in the next few weeks, I will have like a group fast start for each MD. So that way I get a chance to sit down and meet all of them, Lisha. And if I don't do that, if I don't make the time, I will never have the time. So, and I'm starting to, because we have a 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, and I see who's articulating, I see who's rising, when they share good news and stuff like that. So I would see right away once I spot and when I hear that, oh wow, this person is already 3 campaigner. So I right away I was like, hey bro, I need to sit down with this person right away, right? I want to stretch their vision a little bit more, but really, uh, in my head, I want to meet these people. I want to build relationship with them because it cannot be just them. Maybe my MD is just like, let's say, a 10-year old in the business in a way, but they're not really adult yet in the business. They don't know they don't know how to take care of the newborn baby in a sense. So I have to step in. I have to see what I can do to contribute. But when I sit down with them, it's more about empowerment. When I sit down with them, it's all about edifying their trainer. It's not me trying to take them away from them, right? So, but if there's a way that if they're not available, if that trainer is always busy, then they know that I'm available. They know that they can reach out to me. That they should not be intimidated. That if I step in, uh, don't look at Norman as Norman EBC. Look at Norman as a trainer, right? So, but that's kind of relationship we have with the base shop, Nisha.
So sounds like once a week you're doing at least one group fast start per MD, right? In your base, and also you mentioned a group outside of the group fast start, or maybe that's where you were talking about like on top of the group fast start. If they have a trouble, if you see you identify, oh, this MD, they're very good at recruit, but they're not good at production, and that's where you were kind of mention that. Is that in that session, the same
Yes.
session?
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes you cannot help, and sometimes there's a gap between the associate and the trainer. Maybe maybe they know each other too long, and sometimes there's like a drama a little bit. My job is always to neutralize, the situation, to solidify, to cement the relationship, because I keep emphasizing that this business is a journey. We're not perfect. Even siblings, we have quarrel every single day. And how much more us? We're we're just a stranger and we're trying to get to know one another, right? So it's important that we have to find a common ground, right? We make sure that we have one common vision, that we have one mission, and so that way, if there's an issue, talk to me right away. Don't text me. Text is the lousiest communication, right? Come see me, talk to me, sit down with me right away. If they keep continue texting, stop. I don't want to. I don't want to reply moving forward. Yeah. So, and when I sit down, I just realize, and they realize, I realize, we realize that it's just pure miscommunication, right? So And then now I'm building that kind of culture within the group that, you have the problem, talk to me, stop texting me, just come see me face to face, and let's handle it. I'm
Very
just,
good.
yeah,
How many MDs you have in the base right now?
roughly about 20, yeah, about 22 right now, most of them. Actively, about 14, yes, active.
How
So
many legs is that? The 14 leg.
most of them are direct.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is a huge, yeah, I'm looking into like a huge explosion this year because coach talked about 100Y. And I'm not stopping too because those six or even the four recruits I have this month, they're also licensing, right? So I'm always on the lookout like that, maybe this MD wants to become an SMD, they're going to give me a strong leg. They're going to give me a strong leg, right? So yeah, I'm really excited.
do you promote about one MD a month right now, or?
Yeah, about one MD averaging, Alicia. So this month of April or in the last 2 months, boils down to this April here. We're about to promote six marketing directors, GX3 plus, in my base shop alone. Because of half of that, because of the green jacket of Miss Faye Fernandez.
Wow. So so let me ask you another question. Out of 14 legs, right? And let's say you did about 15 recruit personally involved. The other 40 is because you are running the base, you are like coaching them and assigning activities. But of course, one of the biggest questions probably somebody would ask is those, let's say those 15 recruit, is it you jump to different MD and you recruit one or two for each of them, or you pick somebody to help them become, build? Tell me about that. How do you
Yeah.
pick who you get involved with?
Yes. Um, I just know when to engage and when to back off, right? Sometimes, they want to work with each other. And those people that want to work with me, I will work with me. People that maybe not comfortable working with me, go ahead, continue work with your MD and stuff like that. But I make myself available for everyone just in case that, if that trainer is not available. So I pick about 3 to 5 people that I can focus on a week to week, on a month to month basis, and that may change though, and that may change. It depends on the engagement of that new associates. I don't focus too much on the marketing director if they're capable, as much as possible. If they still ask for my help, maybe it's a big case client, corporate, whatever strategy stuff like that, then that's where I come in. But for just a normal appointment and stuff like that, I let them to do on their own. And I learned to identify what kind of appointment is this. Is this a presentation? Is this a closing? Whatever like that. If I know that this is just a presentation, okay, you know what? I'll be there. Okay, but as soon as they get there, okay, you present. Okay, all right. And I put them on the spot, right? I put them on the spot, and they have no choice. If they stumble, though, if they don't know what to say, then I will pick them up, right? So that builds confidence, and that's why a lot of our guys can really, pick up the slack like that, and everyone have the confidence to talk and articulate. And it doesn't have to be perfect. To be honest with you, I told them it's never about the presentation. It's how it's always about how you present. It's how you compose yourself and how you connect with these people. They have to see your heart. They have to see your intention, that you're not there to sell, but you're there to really build, to really there to educate and provide value to their families.
Okay, so, but you will identify about 3 to 5. I mean, and of course it could change. Like maybe one person say, I want to run, and then something happened in their family, so that's why you need the other number
Said
2,
it.
number 3, number 4, number 5,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But
You really have to have a backup, right? Yeah. So you need to have a backup. Yeah. And I have a remote. Most people, maybe you guys think that I only have a base shop in Calgary. No, I have a Northwest Territories. I have Yukon. I have Yellowknife. I have Peace River, Lethbridge. We have Edmonton. We have Manitoba. It's like almost all over Canada, and it's possible because of Zoom. But I told them that it's not only you bring them. Maybe you initiate everything through Zoom, but you gotta bring them in person, right? Because for us to build them, for us to connect, they need to feel us, they need to see us, right? That we do care. So most of them, they invest, they come here, or I invest, I go there, right? It's a reciprocal relationship, push and pull relationship, right? So yeah.
Oh, you demand them to come to you in Calgary too.
Absolutely, yes. I want them to invest so that way when they see we have a nice office here, we have an environment, they can investigate, they can validate, they can affirm, right? That we are a legitimate organization. Yeah, because sometimes they're stuck into that world that maybe this is just a fly-by business or whatever like that, or it's just another candy company or something like that. But when they come here, they feel our our heart, our emotions, and they see that we really care for them. It's like then now they engage even more. They will open up a whole market that you thought they never had. Yeah, so and they're starting to give you a quality prospects, right? There you go.
You do you make demand them something before, like, which one come first? They have to come to you first before you're willing to go there, or they have to do something before you go there.
It's a system flow, I flow, right? If it's required my presence, then I go there. If they need to be here, they can come here. So I have, like, for example, in the next 2 days, before you come, I have a lady from Yukon. She's arriving here in Calgary, and that lady actually spent like 3 weeks in last February this year just to check us out, validate. And she's like one of the head of the Northwest Territory, and yeah. So it's both ways, Alicia. It's both ways.
Okay.
How many GX in your base
Okay.
shop?
How many GX in my base shop, coach? I just asked my assistant now to calculate. But as of today, I have at least about 10 minimum. Are you talking about since January or this month?
No, I mean on a monthly basis.
On a monthly basis,
No, last month.
last month, yeah, at least about 10.
Well, there you
I think that
go.
makes sense, Coach.
Yeah, 10 times.
No, because the double factor, if he have 10, that's 30 already. Double factor is already 60.
I forgot to mention. Yeah, you mentioned about tax season, right, Alicia? I did not update. I just reported that 55, but almost 100 recruits so far this month, and
Wow.
we're working on a joint own share. I'm not stopping until we hit. Well, even if we hit, we're not stopping still. The 100 recruits and 300,000 points just in the base. I'm gonna prove it that is really possible. You did it a long time ago. Yeah, it is really possible if you actually, you have that kind of winning culture within your base shop.
Coach, you want to say something? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I think he should do it by the book. So I think he's pretty system. He's a system guy. To me,
What I did not say. Yeah, what I did not say, the unheard message is, all of this is like, the tools that you're using, and the whatever the 8 circles that we have, the trainer guide, the workshop, do workshop, once a week. And for people that are remote, they can plug into the workshop remotely, right, on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, the training is we're averaging like over 100 every single meeting in the office, right? So that's why we need to adjust, with that growth, with that demand. And right now we're fully maxed out, in the office. And it's a strategic location because I can, if I want to expand, I can just go upstairs or go downstairs. And now Mark Wen's group is here also in this office, right? And yeah, we're really, yeah, you said it, Coach. Is it's all about the system. I mean, us Titan X, we shouldn't be driven by motivations alone, right? I think we're past through that, right? We gotta be very strategic, right? Everything that we do is always has to be duplication, right? Explosion and building relationship. Okay, so anything that we do, because if without relationship, without that, that's what cement the organization, right? As you can see, Coach is building relationship with Coach John Woo and all the CEO in Korea, and that's what we need to duplicate. That's what we need to follow, right? And so you ask yourself, do you have that kind of level of relationship with your group? But be careful though. There's a fine line between relationship and leadership, right? They have to know that when you're talking, when you're calling the shot, are they either reciprocating, right? Are they responding? Okay, and for people that don't listen, I just pray. I I I just pray for them, and continue to I just continue to do whatever I can, and keep going wide, showing the example.
How did men are you?
How do I demand?
No,
How
no.
de-
How did men are you? How demanding
How
are you? I mean,
demanding?
how demanding I am? Very demanding. Yeah. Yeah, my guys know I'm very demanding, but they know that I'm demanding, but I'm not a dictator, right? There's another thing that I'm demanding in a way that, hey, bro, you've been stagnant for a long time. It's time for you to rise up, right? You've been doing this for a long time. You've been growing, but you're not really exploding, right? So they know when I have that kind of conversation with them, they know I'm serious, right? They know that I meant good intentions for them, and they should not take it in the wrong way.
so when the people you demand, for example, like showing up, they don't show up. What you're gonna do?
Well, sometimes when I see them, Coach, if I see them like, okay, hey, we missed you. Is there anything wrong? Is there how's family? And I don't talk about the business right away. I learn to connect with them first. Maybe there's something going on, right? Sometimes when you're coming in so strong and you talk about the business right away without really connecting with them, right? Without knowing what maybe they have a burden, they have maybe a spousal issue or maybe a family emergency or something like that. But you're always talking about the business, you're gonna repel them. But when you see that you sympathize with them, you feel them, that that you're there to care for them, and they will open up a little bit more, right? It's like, hey, bro, you can do more. We missed you in the office, and we don't want you to miss the meeting moving forward. And sometimes I don't talk to them directly like that. I talk to their people. I go down below, and the people underneath is the one that's gonna demand their leader that, hey, let's go to the meeting. So when their people is pushing, because sometimes maybe they have airwalks or they don't listen to you anymore, but they have yeah, but their people can demand for them, right? So I'm very strategic. Like, can my message get across, right? And are they gonna absorb that message, or are they just gonna ignore me, right? But so I really feel I use a lot of common sense. I really feel, see if what angle can I come in to make sure that I can communicate and connect better with that leader or that individual. Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about the new people with your leader. How demanding are you? So the maybe his leader can answer better.
Yeah, maybe we gotta ask
Yeah.
Lizette or Franz or Faye or anybody on here. I don't know, Ian or any of them want to volunteer.
Yeah, I can
share a little
volunteer.
bit.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Z.
Tell us the truth. Tell us the truth and reveal the real Norman Galanto.
All right, I guess I'll go first. And good morning, WSB. My apologies as my voice is not that great for the past 2 days. But what Norman is, expressing to the entire WSB community is actually the way he's leading the team. And I never felt that I had to be managed at some point. But to be honest, it's just a matter of being coachable and reciprocating to your leader. For us, the relationship that he said, the defining line between relationship, friendship, and leadership, that's what we had. And, Norman and I went back a long way, and he knows very well that when it comes to professionalism, I am an advocate for that. And, we've gone through, conflicts and stuff, challenges and stuff, trainee to trainer. But because I'm very upfront as well, I deal with it head on. We were always on the same page because we resolve issues, firsthand. We always deal with it in a way that we could communicate at a level we're at the same page, but at the same time, we can always communicate it to the team, and that way it becomes more efficient. As far as beyond the relationship, as far as the leadership, I know and we know within France, within Froilan, everyone in the leadership, we know where we stand, and we always back him up. Regardless of how we feel or how we want, our. Yes, coach.
I just want to ask a simple thing: how the man is to compare
Oh.
from the scale from 1 to 10, how the man he is to the leader, to you guys.
He's a 15, coach. The reason why I said that because because we always do the extra mile. We don't want to be complacent. We don't want to be ordinary people. We want to be an extraordinary team, and because we have an extraordinary leader, it has to really emanate, and it has to go back to the team. We never look at ourselves as downline, upline, because I always see it that if he doesn't demand, that we cannot deliver, right? Because from time to time, we're always reminded, like right now, I know for a fact if the numbers are down, it is not just my responsibility. I know that Norman will call me out, and that is just part of what we do. But because there's already that built-in discipline,
To philosophical, I just want to know how the man is. I mean, to me, I just want to know. You feel if you feel like you underperform, you feel that man is how can I deal with Norman because he's expect a high number. Do you feel? So should we say that 15 out of 10, or that what you say?
yes, coach.
Okay. Let me hear from other people about how the man he is, because I want to see something I'm looking for.
Hi, Coach. It's Franz here.
If they give you an honest assessment, I mean your leadership skill, you look to Norman, you feel like from 1 to 10, how demanding he is.
For us as SMDs, very demanding coach, like Miss Lizette as well. 15, but in a good way. It's not like he demands
You don't have
because.
to depend on him.
Say that again, Coach.
I'm just don't have to be political and. You should get guys into in political whatever. Not again. I understand he's he's a good guy. So I just want to find the level of demanding. That's all.
Yeah, no, he's pretty demanding, coach. Like at the end of the day, like if there's something that we're lacking, he really demands. But one thing I like about him is that he really connects first, right? Just like how you do it, coach. You connect, you slow it down, you build up that demanding. He knows how to pick up the tone. He knows how to lower it down. After demanding, after he beats us with all the words that to encourage us, then he showers us with blessings after, like encouraging us this and that. But that's just the way it is when he mentors us. That it's pretty demanding. I would say it's high up there, especially with the wife.
What's an example? What's an example of something he demanded, whether this month or is it your licensing? I don't know. Just what's an example of something that he not happy with, and you were like, "Oh crap," or something like that.
Oh yes, especially our Vegas numbers, right? Yeah, the no excuse mentality. That's where when we know there's a lot of postings already in our SMD group chat, that he says that guys, we need to pick it up, this and that. He would call us as well, and the tone is there. The tone is there when he demands Alicia and Coach. It's there. That's we know already what to do. In a way where we understand. I think for me, to be honest, it's me, the trainee, and the trainer relationship. Because no matter how demanding he is, if he doesn't have the right people to demand, I mean, it's really not gonna work. So I think for us SMBs, we just have that relationship with him that when he demands, we just have to go to work. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, other guy, because I just want to give people who understand the scale.
Hello, this is Froylan. Coach Norman, I've been in corporate with for so many years, and I would say that Coach Norman is more demanding than my boss in corporate world. I know I like the base shop that I have is not that big yet, and in a daily day basis, he keeps on embracing me, but at the same time, he would tell me the numbers where I needed to be, but in a good way, in a and the thing that he always do is he really knows how to connect with us. The friendship is there, but the leadership and the way we respected him is really not just like the big leader that we have. The respect is always there, and he makes sure that when we talk about business, friendship is out of the equation, so that we have we all we need is to listen to him. And I would say in a scale of one to ten, I think he's demanding so much than more than 10. I think all the SMD under him can attest to that. Thank you, Coach, for
Right.
allowing me to share.
Okay, one more guy, and then we finish the question.
Hey,
All right.
Coach, this is Erwin. Can I share?
All right, quickly, 1
Yeah.
to 10.
Okay, so this is Erwin Ergiz. I'm actually an adopted sideline here with Coach Norman. What I like about him, he's not above the system. Like the system is above him, and that's demands a lot of respect. And when you respect somebody like that, just their actions alone is enough to move you. And he doesn't say much, but when he talks, it could just pierce through you, and because it's doable. And that's I have so much respect in him, and even just the big things that he's doing is very inspiring, and that's what motivates us. But what I like about him too is he knows the fine line, like what he said earlier, of building that genuine relationships, like treating each recruit as his own, but at the same time, he's very mindful on who's responding, and that's where he challenges people. Like, okay, EPR, encourage, praise, recognize, but then, hey, you're ready for the next level, and then the next level. And that's what he does.
Okay.
He's just so simple like that. And, he doesn't force you, he lets you react, but then he's very mindful of how do you respond. He keeps an eye on who responds. He's very good at that. So again, mastering the fine line of genuine relationships and also promoting leadership. And hey, that's Coach Norman Galanto. Thank you for letting me share.
All right. Well, I just want to find out the level of leadership and teamwork he has. When I talk about demanding, it's a tricky question, but actually, you cannot demand unless you have a team who is responsible to you. So I think you have teamwork here, you have leadership. So that's why the high level demand. Of course, to be able to demand people, you have to do it first. You have to be for you to be able to demand people, you have to not only you do it first, but you do a lot more to your team to demand your team. You cannot just do a little bit like your team or do less of your team and to be able to demand. So not demanding is not easy to get. So when you rate him more than 100%, which means that he do all the thing he is as a leader. He lead by example. He have the right to demand, and he showed his success. So, all right, great job.
All right. So Norman, I have one last question. It's just to help us transition to the next topic. Okay. So, Norman, you were in the EVC meeting with us in Las Vegas, in US, last week, and one of the recognition category is licensing, right? Especially in Canada is my favorite topic because everywhere I go in Canada, every leader loves to cry to me about how hard licensing is in Canada. Right, Canadian, even sitting with Coach there. Okay, so Norman, I want to ask you what you do on the licensing side right now to help grow the licensing number. What's your process?
Yeah, I learned not to complain, Alicia. I learned how to find solutions, and I hired a staff that really good and have a lot of patience to teach. Okay, so I'm investing a lot in the whole hierarchy just to get people licensed faster. So we're setting up monitoring, follow up, communication. Make sure that they're progressing to the next level. Make sure that they're passing the one module to the next. Okay, and we're doing a boot camp starting this next week after you leave or end of this month. A boot camp for half license. Okay, so for accidental and sickness in ethics. So it can be done in 2 days. The reason why most people are not because it's not because they cannot pass or they don't understand. They're just not reading. They're not putting the time and effort, in really going through the licensing. I understand there's 4 modules, 60% to pass. Come on, 60%, and it's an open book system too, right? So really, if you're good at even control search or control find, 60% of the answer is really there. The rest is just comprehension, right? So, but most people they don't know, they don't understand the way how the HLQP, the asking, right? They don't understand how to dissect the question, right? They're panicking if they see this long of question, but at the end of the day, what is segregated fund or something like that? So they just delaying you. So we're teaching our people to really how to understand the way how they ask the question, so that way we can license more people. So my goal this year to license minimum 300 in total. I know we can do that if everyone can help 3 individuals to license 3 individuals in the next 2 to 3 months. We're gonna double our recruiting numbers. We're averaging about 51,000 points per license a year annually. So why not focus on the licensing as well? But it's not only about the licensing. We gotta do both. We gotta focus on the GX and the license and exploding our business, Miss Alicia. So that's my realization. It cannot just only about the license. We have to follow the system. The license is a must, but it's not the only focus.
But give me a little bit more insight. So you hire somebody to be an instructor and is for your whole super team, right? So
Yes.
how how often that instructor is teaching
Twice a week, yeah.
on Zoom?
On Zoom in person here. But we encourage them to come in person, but for remote people, they can log into Zoom.
And then what's the relationship between that instructor versus, let's say I'm in your base shop and I recruit somebody,
Mhm.
I recruit Karen, right? So who I guess what I see, the reason I'm asking is what I see is a lot of people hire, but then they let it go. They think it's the job of the instructor or the job of the coordinator. So I want to understand in your team, what is the relationship between the staff versus the new team member versus the person that recruited them or the trainer? How you manage that too? Because you can hire, but if they don't,
Yeah.
there has to be some relationship and some follow up, right? So
I told the guys after Arizona, my leadership group, that we will have a once a week leadership meeting and talk. So I cannot just carry all the load for them, right? They have to step up as well. So that's part of demanding as well, right? And they have to monitor, they have to plug, they have to drive the people to attend in that licensing class, okay? Because it doesn't mean that you plug them in. It doesn't mean that they're gonna graduate from that class. You really have to continue to and I encourage every single one of them to, hey, you gotta have maybe you need a multiple staff. Maybe one staff is not gonna cut it. Maybe you need you're losing a lot of money by not having a staff for that specific department. Okay, and I invest a lot, in terms of like staff, Alicia, because I understand what the value of each staff, what they can do for me. The reason why I average, maybe this is a segue a little bit. The reason why I average like 50,000 plus points a month because of my staffing as well. But I cannot do that as well if I'm not producing license. So it is really important that they have to step up. The leadership from MD to SMD, everyone has the responsibility. I make everyone responsible that, hey, can you focus on 2 to 3 people that you're gonna guide? I don't care if you're not licensed. Can you guide them? Can you drive them to that licensing class? So that is also the strategy, I guess, that I'm implementing right now. And we're improving. We're improving from here. Go ahead, coach.
Well, my question to you, like, you recruit like this month so far, like 100 people.
Close,
Or,
yes.
or your base or your team.
Base. That's base.
So you have total control your base. Out of that, how many people submit license of all those 100?
At least 30%, coach.
Why?
Because we're not monitoring yet. We're starting to. Yeah.
You lose 70 license on the spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why?
We're improving. We're improving.
You talk about the staff. To me, that the staff can only handle the 30 people. You didn't talk about you losing 70 people supposed to get submit license.
That's a really good point.
Well, I think this thing I've been discussing, I don't know how many times. Why is that because I look at your base shop licensing with the number of recruiting that you have like 33 license. And the number of license, I can see the problem right there. I look to most of you guys, I think you guys have a licensing problem. I mean, you don't have licensing problem. You don't have, I don't think you have people a problem like passing the test. The real problem is that you don't have people who submit license.
Okay.
Why is that after a year, 2 year, 3 year, and now how many I don't know how many is that 100 times or maybe 1,000 times or what? And I say that licensing and AMA in one staff. How 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 is that? That what are you going to do with the 70 people who will not submit license?
I'll be fixing that issue, Coach, moving forward.
Huh?
I will be fixing that issue moving forward.
Okay.
There's no explanation.
You put the report up back, Alicia, and show me on the licensing column of at you put a highest recruiting base shop to the lowest, and then you look to the column of licensing cartel, base shop recruiting.
Bishop recruit.
Yeah, highest to lowest. So base shop recruiting, you see, right now Norman's is 33.
Zoom in more, please.
So that 33, Coach, is a full license. I have at least 20 half license. So, but those half license can only they can only produce like a limited solutions in Canada, like accidental and sickness, critical illness, mortgage referrals, and some stuff.
What
So-
I see right now, none of us here. This is strange to me that none of the people here, including like Alejandra, do not have 100 license or more in the base on number. I think the reason is that from step number one, they just don't have the licensing submitted. And then once that thing you have submitted, I mean, we can have talk about the staff and everything else. The challenge is that you're not implement something so simple like I will not accept people join unless they license. I mean, I do accept that in some case, for some reason, you cannot get license on the spot. But I can see the problem when you have 30 versus 100. If you have 100 people join and you have 80 people submit license and 20 of them is that for whatever reason they don't submit, I understand that. That
Hey,
is
Coach.
always.
Hey, Coach, can I suggest something? For sure, most Canadian EPC would agree with me. Can we have another company to compete, or maybe aside from Oliver's HLQP? There's like Apex Academy, not Apex Financial. There's like an Apex Academy that's also, doing a good thing. Maybe we can look into that instead of Oliver's HLQP alone. Maybe something that can help us Canadians to.
No, but that is after the fact. After the fact, that thing you can discuss among you guys about Apex or Oliver, whatever. I'm talking about here, all you guys here, Canada, sitting behind me. Why is that you guys cannot implement the thing like submit license and submit AMA and license on the spot at the same time?
Hey, Coach. This is George from Vancouver. One of the issues that we have, because I know with Yamila and I, our recruiting has gone up. But as soon as we register someone, the system will not let us get them register for their licensing. It takes us days, and we have this issue. I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but days for us to be able to get them licensed, and it's very frustrating because WFG won't allow us through launch to get them licensed.
Okay. So can you get them register for the classes?
You have to wait. You have to wait.
We have to wait for
hours.
we have to wait for the DFG launch for us to be able to do what we need to do. We
You have
can't
to wait 24 hours, Coach.
You can
Minimum
you
of-
can register somebody immediately. You register the person that same day. There's nothing that hinders you. Just go to Oliver and you register the person right away.
Yeah, if you use a direct link to the training materials, you can register them same day. But if you go through WFG launch, sometimes it takes like a few days. Yeah. So
I just get that the agent code is not.
I'm amazed about. I
yeah,
still.
that's if you go through WFG launch. Oh,
I am amazed about you guys depend on WFG to build your business. I'm talking about you. I want to have the answer here. If I recruit someone, I can recruit you, George, and I want you to get licensed right on the spot. Can I just have any class, any school, anything? They say, George, I want you to go to this school to get licensed.
Coach, let me answer quickly.
So if I'm an entrepreneur, I don't use excuse. I want to have 100% licensing. I want somebody hooked in with licensing. Can I get to any, or can I tell them to pay me money? Can I get to a school, a class, and start a class for them?
And we can't do that in Canada.
We cannot.
WFG restricted us completely. That only Olivers can be used. They said it's.
So Oliver, tell me what Oliver. So if I have someone, my daughter, who want to get to Oliver School, can I friend, can I get them into the school?
Not the WFG Olivers, because you need the WFG code. It's linked to the Oliver. So what we do is when they join, like what Martin is saying is correct. If you use WFG launch, there's a lagging period. It's not going to allow you to register them. But if you bypass that and you go to olivershlfqp.com, you can register that person immediately.
Okay, that's what
So that's what we should be doing.
But what's the difference between WFG? Go to WFG and go directly. If you want to do it, is that a different price?
There's no difference in
Yes,
price.
there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Don't worry.
Coach, I might just say something. I'm going to share my screen. If you wanted to go to Oliver's to register, these are the two conditions that they put on there as of right now. If you become a WFG associate on or before December 18, 2018, you have to use registration from WFG launch to get your licensing done. So if you wanted to buy the licensing material from Oliver directly, it's like $212 more than what WFG.
Busy, stop. What you're saying is wrong, okay? It's completely wrong.
It's completely wrong.
Go back to your screen.
Can I add into this, guys?
One second,
okay.
France.
All right, sorry, bro.
One second.